Okay, this is a review of the ICS MX5 Pro. It's the MS1, one of the sniper's folding stock on it, the SFS model. Okay, and you should be able to see it. This is big MP5 here. The other one I've got in just for size comparison purposes. That's a G&G, okay, the blowback one. That's the combat machine one, so it's plastic, not the full metal version of it. That there, that's a TM tracer unit, one of the full auto new ones. That's a collar to keep the RAS grip on the ICS MX5. That's the actual RAS grip. That there is a Blackwater silencer, and that's a tan Maori PEC box. The PEQ, the RAS, and also the Blackwater silencer came with the MX5. Now I got the MX5 for £130 with all of that, and also a 9.6 battery, and 2 ICS mags, which are the darker ones. The one with red tape on it is a 40 round G&G midcap, and the rest are JG or Maori. So yeah. The focus of the review though obviously is the MX5, so I'll move all the other stuff out of the way. We're all familiar with PEQ boxes, we all know what they do, they house batteries. Really useful bit of kit to have. Blackwater silencer, the trades on it. Nice bit of kit to have. Attaches either CW or CCW, got that with it. On its own probably worth about £30, so good to have that as well. Now these are the original set of foregrips. I'll put pictures up partway through review, okay, which will show you what the weapon looks like with these on. The reason I have these off is because I prefer the feel, not of a T-grip on an MP5, I just think it's wrong. I prefer the original classic style of hand grip. That handguard is much nicer, that foregrip, I love it, so that's why that's gone. And also because you can't fit a battery in there and you have to use a PEQ. But to be honest, you know, you can't fit a battery in that unless it's a tiny lipo. And I don't currently have one, so that gun there, the ICS MX5, currently I don't actually use it. Which I don't mind because, you know, I've acquired it fairly recently and just haven't had time to. So I've got a new ICS M16 and a few other little bits and bobs. My new AK is here, and I got both my Thompsons to contend with and a few other things. So yeah, magazines. We all know what magazines are. Don't need them in the picture. And the tracer unit, which I'll come back to in a bit. Those over there on the end of the bed, those are just clothes, so they're not going to be reviewed. As you can tell, the gun is marginally longer than a standard MP5, and that's mainly due to the rather large threaded section on the front there, the flash hider. By the way, is 14mm negative red, so it's a CCW. You're probably wondering what the hell that is on the end of the gun there, on the stock. That's a giant anteater. Bonus points if you manage to guess that. South American, so if you're from South America, you might actually know that. Put the light on, that might help. That's the right switch, there we go. Now, that's a traditional sling mount for rear mounts. So, that's an old style MP5. You've got the traditional front mount just there. That's your traditional flash hider, tri-luggy type. And that's your traditional MP5 sighting arrangement. Peep sights, HK, okay? That's a traditional charging handle. Because this is blowback as well. They'll be going backward and forward as and when. Battery on this model here is stored in the buttstock. Okay? That's just your regular MP5A4. So I'm going to chuck that over there. Now this is the focus of why I wanted it. This stock. It's got ICS written up here. It's nicely textured. The sling mount, by the way, you can push a button in, okay, and you can pull it out. You can pop it around to whatever you want. You can put it on each side of a weapon, basically. The stock is hinged, so it's a folding stock. Okay. Worth noting, that mount there is blued, so yours will not look like that. I'll tell you what, we got poor lighting, so I'll just flick a lamp on a second. Should have done that earlier, and I apologise, but that's how things go. There we go. Lighting should improve now. It's one of those crappy energy saving bulbs, so give that a second to warm up. Now, folding of a stock. Simply push down on this little button here, square button, and fold. Okay? It doesn't actually lock, there's nothing to secure it in place. Okay? What you do find is it's just done by just the way it folds, really, is just the bearing. It is, you know, secure. It's not going to jump off. Now, the sight arrangements, the first thing you're going to notice are different. You do get supplied with templates, okay, different front ones. Now, because I bought mine second hand, I don't have those. The other thing you're going to notice immediately is the flash hider, and obviously also the charging handle. Now, the charging handle is completely different to a regular MP5 one, because it folds. So that's quite nice. That's a nice touch there by ICS, that's interesting. You can do it up to make sure you don't lose it. Little hole in there for a screwdriver to go in, and there's also an Allen wrench bit just in there, what I call them, Allen nut. Allen bolt? Allen bolt? That's the word I'm looking for, not nut. What am I, dumbass? Yes, I am. That's not going to be snapping off anytime soon. It's well secured on the cocking handle. Hop-up's adjustable in the usual place for an MP5. Just in there, in the usual way. Hop-up on this gun's effective. Now, I picked this up with 5,000 rounds gone down through it. So, relatively new still, to be honest, considering. Now, you can attach a sliding stock if you don't like having the folding stock. A retractable stock's an option. What a lot of people have also been talking about with this gun, so what makes it interesting, is the selector. Safe 1 3 A for auto. Now, that 3-round burst is absolutely awesome. I'm not going to lie. When you drop down to low battery though, what you will find quite often is there'll be only 2 coming out as opposed to the 3 which you require, but it doesn't matter. Now, depending on your sight, it may allow that for CQB. What they do allow at my site, however, is single shot for CQB. Now that works brilliantly for me, and I'll tell you why in a second. The other thing I want to say is the safe button here, that's on safe now, right? And then you push it past it, and if there's a battery in there, that will decompress the spring. ICS really good for decompressing springs. Their M16 does it as well, does it in a different way. It's forward assist knob. Takes all the strain off the gears and obviously the spring, so it's nice. It's a good touch to have. Now, the thing that really gets me about this, even more than the 3-round burst, the thing I really love is the trigger. See how fast that is? Not even trying here, alright? Little finger, can't stress this enough. Look at that. No resistance. It's an electronic trigger, it's not mechanical contacts. That trigger is electrically operated and there's a MOSFET in there controlling everything. That trigger, the CQB, is pure ownage. It's awesome. You can literally just go like that, and it fires, you know, so damn fast. It's unbelievable. This gives you really good control over where your shots are going and how fast they're coming out the gun. Now, one of the other things you may have seen is that the pistol grip is textured. Now, not true. It's the same as any other one. The thing is, they've put this little like a rubber band-aid sort of thing going around there, and it's comfortable and it fits well. Where they put this grip here, it's a ridge, so the finger beneath your trigger finger can seat above it. Okay, well, that's adjustable, obviously, because you can just push it up and down, you know. So no gripes with that. That's nice. Heatsink, good. Plenty of air getting through to the motor. No complaint there. The trigger, no complaint about that. That is absolutely phenomenal. That's fantastic. That's one hell of a good design. ICS, well done. Gearbox, metal, split. Really cool bit of equipment to have. The sights, fully adjustable for windage and elevation. And, you know, everything about this gun is just awesome. Go back to the stock again, one of the things that people may not have picked up on in other reviews, because I don't know if anyone else has covered this yet. This little lever here, and pull down. Now your stock is adjustable for length of pull. Okay? Literally just however you want to put it. You've got 3 different levels there you can put it down to. So that as well, that helps, that's nice. And if you want to mount a scope on here, you're going to have to use claw mounts, it's worth noting. Okay, standard traditional claw mounts. And if you push that pin in there and pull up, so it's that pin there to release, and look at that, instant cheek riser. So now if you want to line yourself up a bit better, if you've got an ACOG on there, that can help. By the way, it's adjustable, so you know, play around with that as well. Quickly going to touch on the threads on the barrel. This is going to be something which is interesting. But this is a bit of a gripe for me as well, so here goes. I'll show you why it's a gripe for me. This is something that just pisses me off immensely. That is why it pisses me off immensely. The outer barrel runs way out past the threads. So going back to the tracer unit quickly. Now, the sensor in the tracer unit is at the front, so when it's screwed on, look how far in the barrel goes. It goes past the sensor, so you can't use a frickin' tracer unit with this gun. Which, frankly, I'm annoyed about because I was looking forward to seeing the 3-round burst of tracers. Oh well, that's life. Now, mag release, standard MP5 affair. Okay, you've got that standard MP5 on there, and now that's worked its way really loose, and you can hear it rattling about. When there's a mag in there, it doesn't do it, so it's not such a gripe. Apart from that, you have a regular release which is nice and stiff. The mag release and everything is all metal, so you don't have to worry about that falling apart on you, which is nice. Now the stock here has a really high impact, proper resin, it's really good polymer stuff. There's nothing nothing's going to break down on this gun. It's good, it's well made, it's solid. Now the lower here has ABS. It's got a nice strong ABS feel to it. There's nothing wrong with that. In my book, that's fine. The trigger is a nice magnesium-y feel to it. It's one of those magnesium alloys. The whole of the lower receiver here, I believe to be steel. I say lower, I mean the mag well, you know what I mean. And also the main body here, and also the upper. It's all good quality. Okay, the paint's not going to flake off too much because it's well done. I know that because I've done a scratch test on it. And I put some gum glue on there as well, give it a nice worn-in look. Any scratches I get, I usually gum glue them, depending on the gun. Heckler and Koch models looks really good, you know. So it just depends. Armorlites, not so good. Prefer to leave them looking a bit more beaten. Now, a front sling mount, by the way, exact same. Mounting a sling on here, not something I'm interested in doing. MP5s, I prefer to just have a torch or a laser in them, or cable tie a torch onto the front grip. Which leads me to my next comment about lasers. If you want to, you can install one. Literally, you just unscrew this, okay, just under the front sight post here, and in there you can pop a laser pointer. You can buy them on eBay, and that's something I would consider doing. It's not a bad idea. That way when the torch or laser beam hits the person's torso, you just double tap them or let off a burst. That works quite nicely when you're indoors. Useless in woodland though, unless it's a night game. So overall, I'd say the gun scores highly. I haven't got any footage of it firing at the moment, okay, so don't go pestering me for it too much. It will be put up at some point when I get round to it. It's just a sort of a basic look at the gun really, just to show you how it is and how it holds up and what I think of it. Overall, I would say ICS have done a really good job on it. The functionality of the weapon is, you know, it's very up there. It's very skirmishable. It's a really good bit of kit. The magazines, I'll just show you with an ICS mag if I can find one.